All right, this is like my sixth time recording this, so I hope it's the last. But hey guys, so I'm going to be presenting my Padlet and explaining the different ways men and women are stereotyped and what society expects from us. I wrote out my summary on my computer, so that's what I'm going to be looking at straight ahead here. I hope that's not an issue. It just helps me get my point across more clear, so I'm not like and thinking off the top of my head, especially talking to a camera. It's very nerve-wracking for me. um so I will start with the men's magazine. I noticed there were a lot of food ads in the men's magazine, and they were very like straightforward, to the point, simple. You could totally tell what was being sold. You didn't have to put much thought or guess, what product was being sold. They're not using men to overly, they're not using men as objects, or they're not over sexualizing men to sell the product. So that was one difference I noticed between the men and the women's magazine. There's also a lot of protein ads in the magazine. So the masculinity expectation of man is to be strong, big, and muscular. And protein helps maintain muscle mass and promotes growth. Men should work out, use protein shakes to help them eat less, but build body mass for them to maintain their muscular physique. Another ad I found interesting was the doctor ad. Men are stereotyped to not like going to see the doctors, and if they do, they may seem weak. My dad thinks like this very much. If you ask him, how are you doing? How's your health? Oh, I'm good. I'm great. Oh, yeah. Have you gone to see your doctor lately? When was the last time you had a physical? I don't need a physical. I'm fine. I'm Superman. Nothing can hurt me. Thinking, that cocky, egotistic way. Because if they go to their doctor and they ask questions and inquire about their health, they may seem weak. So yeah, another interesting ad was the one of the two black men playing basketball. This ad is gender stereotype that basketball is a predominantly Black American sport. The NBA consists of 80% Black Americans. I googled that. This ad also implies that men are aggressive, competitive, they do not like to lose, and plays on masculinity. Also, this was one of the few ads that displayed someone of color in it. I think I saw like 5 ads of people of color in them, and like 2 or 3 out of the 5, they were professional athletes or well-known athletes, and it's just like, really? It just shows that race inequality is very relevant in today's society. And society only acknowledges people of color and will consider them or feature them when it's sports related. Another ad I came across was the cologne Mont Blanc. The gender expectation of this ad is that predominantly white men are successful and powerful. The man in the ad is very clean cut, wearing a suit, which reflects success. Men should look and smell good to be successful. Those are just a few of the gender expectations for men. Now let's take a look at the women expectations set by society in InStyle magazine. One ad that stood out to me was a shoe ad featuring a little girl, a toddler at that, standing in heels. This is an expectation that little girls should grow up playing dress up, playing in mommy's clothing and shoes and makeup. And I can relate to that. I used to do that when I was little. A lot of my friends who have little girls, they do that. So it just goes to show how relevant it is today. The stereotype that little girls should love shoes puts so much pressure on them without them even realizing, causing them to grow up way too fast and not fully enjoy their childhood. It also expresses that women obsess the need to expand their shoe collection. The more pairs of shoes you own is ideal and expected in society. In the Calvin Klein fragrance ad, they have beauty bolded out of all the other font on the ad. And the image of the woman in the ad is what society thinks is beautiful. She is white, thin, with European features, and unfortunately, that is very highly looked upon in today's society. This ad also says that women need to wear expensive fragrances to feel beautiful. Seems that Calvin Klein has a set expectation of what women should look like. His jean ad over-sexualizes the woman in the ad by having her in tight jeans, showing cleavage, and a sexy look. Not to mention her being surrounded by men just makes her a sex object. Again, she is thin, has flawless hair and makeup. She's a white American, and she looks fairly young. In the Dior fragrance ad, the woman is dressed very similar to how a child would dress on a bike, typically what a child would ride, and is designed to look like a child. The word Miss is bolded, and when referring to someone as Miss, they are young, unmarried, and usually under the age of 18. Another Google source. Young women are highly desired in society. Women invest tons of money in beauty products, treatments, and procedures to look young. Guilty. I don't invest my money in any procedures, but I do spend a lot of money on skincare, and I really enjoy, facials and things to make my skin look plump, and I'm trying to avoid wrinkles. So once again, society just goes to show how relevant it is. Finally, the last ad that caught my attention was the clothing ad with the 3 women standing next to each other. This was one of the few ads that featured a woman of color in it. She was very light complexion. Again, light is better. Light is going to be accepted. A lighter skin is going to be accepted over darker skin. Also, I noticed all the women look the same, even the ethnic woman. I think the brunette woman is white as well. She just has dark hair. She may be Hispanic or something, but she looks white. And honestly, the black woman, the light skinned woman, she looks white as well, which is totally crazy and scary that they can make an ethnic woman look to appear white. So these are my observations from both magazines. Taking this class was such an eye-opener, and it just made me realize what type of crazy world we live in, where society just wants to mold, shape, control what we wear, how we should look, and how we should act. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.